Okay.
Welcome to SS Podcast, sir. I myself, Sai Ishwar, I'm natively from Andhra Pradesh, but I'm currently pursuing my M.Pharm Pharmacognosy from Central University of Punjab. And our chief guest today is Richie sir. Richie sir has completed his BSc from Herbal Medicine from Ghana and also completed his MPhil Pharmacology and currently pursuing PhD from Central University of Punjab. Welcome to India, sir. Welcome to SS Podcast. Namaste, sir. It has
Namaste,
been
namaste. Thank
and a
you.
great pleasure to meet you, sir. It has been a dream for me to meet you. Today we are organizing a class and taking an interview for you, sir. Uh, so
Thank you.
how's yes, sir? How's you feeling in India, sir? First of all, my question. How's you feeling in India?
Okay. Okay. So I can say that it's been okay in India. It's been fine, and all has been well. The people have been helping us if we need help. So it's been okay.
Yes, sir.
It's been okay.
I mean, it would be like a very different world for you. Like it's different language, different culture, and different people. How's you are doing with it in university and in college?
Sure, it's been a learning experience, and
Yeah, yeah,
I must say that it's not been easy because if you look at the difference in the culture, it's very wide. Africa, Asia, the culture is wide.
yeah.
But then we just have to manage and fit inside. So we are managing and we are fitting inside gradually. So it's been okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, your voice is a little bit clumsy, sir. Can you please adjust? Like,
Okay, okay. Now can you hear me now? Is it better now?
yeah, sir, it is better now. So,
Okay, then I'll have to
yeah, sir.
do this.
So let's dive into our topic, sir. Our topic is like
Okay.
most of the youth are mostly addicted to alcohol, cigarette nowadays due to their maybe like situation. Mostly in India, I must say, or almost in all the world. Most of them are like due to the situation pressure, like in career you have to go on, or the family pressures, family problems. Most of them are addicted to cigarettes and alcohol. So how how you can say it, like how it affects the body?
You see, most of the times what we do is that we try to find a different way of solving our problems instead of confronting them. And one of the ways that the youth are doing is to hide behind alcohol, hide behind cigarettes to try and feel better. But science has told us that no matter how better you feel, at the end of the day, when you're taking these drugs, they end up affecting your health. There are so many evidences, there are so many research works, and there are even so many medical theories that has come to explain that taking alcohol or smoking cigarette has no beneficial effect to the human body. It only postpones your worries, it only postpones your woes, and gives you other disorders. For instance, if you take alcohol, if you take cigarettes, one of the things that the two of them will do is that they are just going to make you feel better. They affect what we call, they help to release what we call dopamine. And those of us who are scientists who are listening to me will know that dopamine is what we call the pleasure hormone. It makes you feel better. So when you take alcohol and you take cigarettes, these things, together with the things that they have, for instance, cigarettes is made of tobacco. Tobacco also has, cigarette also has nicotine. So tobacco, nicotine together, they produce these things that I'm talking about, the dopamine that I'm talking about. It causes them to be released from the brain. And when they are released from the brain, then you end up feeling better, you end up feeling happy. And then you end up thinking that, oh, all is well, not knowing that this is just covering the problems. It is just like you have a rickety car and then you just paint the car. You have not done anything to the car, you just painted it, it's still rickety, it's still going to affect you if the engine is wrong. So I think that one of the things that we should do as people or as youth is that we are supposed to confront the problem and not to hide against drugs because these drugs will have, for instance, cigarette is going to give you a lot of issues with your lungs. One
Yes,
of
sir.
them is lung cancer. And cigarette, because of the nicotine and because of the tobacco smoke, they are going to cause a lot of and there's tobacco and then the nicotine. Together, sometimes we produce carcinogenic compounds. And these compounds are cancer-producing compounds. So they turn your lung tissues, which are normal, to abnormal lung tissues. And these abnormal lung tissues proliferate or grow excessively than they should grow. And that will lead to what we call cancer. Again, those who take alcohol, if nothing at all, alcohol affects your thinking, it affects your judgment.
Yes, sir.
So sometimes people will take alcohol and they will still feel that they can drive. They get into the car and they get an accident. So a lot of accidents have been caused because of abuse of alcohol. A lot of destinies have been destroyed because of abuse of alcohol. Because when you take alcohol, you become, number one, abusive. So people around you tend to abuse them. You tend to be rowdy. You become someone who wants to fight any other person. So all these things, alcohol can cause injury and all that from its action. So all these things will definitely affect whoever is taking them. So when you have problems, when you have issues, it's better to confront them head on than to be taking drugs to cover them. They will never solve the situation.
Yes, sir. It has been nice, sir. You're saying it absolutely right, sir. Because alcohol is causing a lot of problems in the human personal individual effect itself. Not as people are taking it as just a simple pleasure. Like in order to escape from the situation what they are suffering, they are taking it as like a simple pleasure, and it has been an addicted to them. Yes, sir. Tell us about your journey, sir. Like about your experience, how you reached from Ghana. Like, tell us about it, your journey, how you educated your BSc. Have you been thinking from like childhood or like itself, like you had to study international, or when you got this idea to do an international study?
Okay, I think that growing up, you just want to go to school. You get it. Where I'm coming from, you just want to go to school. So you start, you go, you get to secondary school, my place, do GSS, secondary school, you go to the university, and then you finish. Then what next? When you finish, you think, okay, then let me do my country, you do youth service 1 year. So you serve the government without pay for 1 year. After that, you decide what you want to do.
Yeah, that's nice.
So really nice. Yeah. So after that, we decided, okay, let's do masters. My country is either MSc or MPhil. So I decided to do MPhil. And after the MPhil, what next? You want to do PhD. So then you look at what can I do? Because PhD is a capital intensive process. If you don't have money, doing PhD is difficult. So then you look for scholarship offers and you try and see if you can get offers somewhere. So one of the things that I tried to do was to look at the scholarships around. One of the things I got to know was what we call the Indian Council for Cultural Relations. And so ICCR scholarship, which is given by the Indian High Commissioner in every country to the citizens of that country to come to India, study and learn their culture. So I just applied to it, submitted my documents, and then I was given the opportunity to come here. And coming here wasn't easy. People have notions about countries they have not visited before. So when you decide to come to India, then people will say, hey, what are you coming to do in India? Coming all the way from Africa to India.
Yes,
it took me 3 days to come to India. 3 solid days to come to India. So a lot of people were saying, hey, so what are you coming to do in India? Just sit in your house and after all, and manage. And I said, no. I'll try. Because knowledge, they say, is power. Anywhere you go and you get a knowledge, it's very important. So I decided that no, I'll give it a try. I've not traveled out of my country before. This was my first time. And I decided to give it a try. Yeah. It's been humbling, it's been wonderful, it's been exciting.
Yes, sir. Nice. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. What's your opinion on being a teetotaler, sir? Like teetotaler, like without drinking alcohol. What's your opinion on it? A person be like, some of them may choose to be vegan, some of them may choose to be teetotaler. But in India, when we meet it along with the friends or in a party, some of them may drink, and whenever they force us, we'll say like, no, we don't want to drink. So how to deal with that situation in that case in order to avoid alcohol?
Okay, so it's not just India alone. In my country, to the same thing.
Yes, sir.
If you don't take alcohol, people see you in a particular light. They
Yes, sir.
think that, hey,
Exactly.
what at all do you want to achieve? Alcohol won't kill you.
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
this?
exactly, sir.
That kind of thing. But then you see, if you one of the things that we should know is that as individuals, if you don't stand for one thing, you are going to fall for everything.
Yes, sir.
So I believe that if you are an individual, you should stand for one thing. And for me, I feel it's the best not to indulge in drinking or taking alcohol because I have
Yes,
never seen anybody who
yes,
has
sir.
gotten into trouble for not drinking alcohol.
Yes,
But
sir.
I've seen a
Exactly.
lot of people who have gotten into trouble for drinking alcohol.
Yes,
And
sir.
those who have become addicted started gradually, 1 tot, 10 meals, 20 meals, 30 meals. And one of the things that you should understand is that when the more you take alcohol, the more you increase your threshold before you can get boost. So
Yes,
one of the things about alcohol is that alcohol makes you adapt, your body can adapt to the levels of alcohol you take. So if today you take 10 meals and you get boost, the next day when you take 10 meals, you have to take more. So the more you take, the more you become addicted. And the
addicted.
more you become addicted, the more you destroy your life. So for
Yes,
me, it is the best ever decision anybody will take not to take alcohol.
to avoid
It's the
alcohol.
best decision. And people can mock you, people can do whatever they want to do with you.
Yes, sir.
But
Exactly.
forget it. I always say that majority cannot always be right.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes majority can be wrong. The minority can be right.
Yes, sir.
And for me, I am a Christian, so I believe in the principles of the Bible.
Yes, sir.
Almost all the times, the things God did in the Bible, He used only few people. He
Yes, sir.
never used majority.
Yes,
So if you are a youth and you want to do well in life and you want to be very focused, then you have to stand firm and say that for me, I don't take alcohol. Then what others are going to say,
yes, sir. Thank you.
then
Thank you.
what others are going to say,
Yes,
I
sir.
am going to focus.
Yes, sir. So most of the it has been a very nice message for most of the youth today, sir, because it helps us a lot, to avoid alcohol. And sir, just talk about us three things that you most like in India. After you have visited, I know you have visited a year ago, just like some days itself, but within this span of time, tell us three things that you like the most in India.
Oh, wow. Okay. I think that first and foremost, one of the very most wonderful things I like about Indians is their sense of patriotism.
Yes, sir.
Indians are patriotic. You meet
Yes,
an Indian,
yes, sir.
and the
Exactly.
only
It's an
thing that comes to
opportunity
his
country.
mind
Yes,
is
sir.
that India first.
Yes, sir.
For any Indian, whatever he does is India first. And that's one thing I like so much about India, their sense of patriotism. And then number two, one of the things I also like about Indians is their hospitality. The few Indians I have met, and when you enter a bank, when you get to, when I wanted to register my SIM card, when I wanted to have a SIM card, when I wanted to get to the bank, even in the university, wherever you find yourself and you are in trouble, Indians want to help you. You sit in the bus and then the conductor wants to help. People want to help you
Yes,
because so I like that hospitality nature about India.
yes, sir.
And then
Thank
there's
you.
another thing I like so much about India, their their conservativeness, their
Yes,
simplicity.
yes, sir.
Indians are people who are very simple. Their lifestyle is simple. No extravagance whatsoever. They wear
Yes,
their simple pagli, whatever they have to wear. They wear simply and they are moving on. If
yes,
you see them, even their cars, small cars, Suzuki Maruti,
yes,
small cars, and they are driving in it. Those
yes,
who will
sir.
drive their motor will ride their motor. Simple lifestyle, no extravagance. And I think that those are the three things that I'm so much happy about to know in India.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. It's really nice, sir. Like, so first of all is our opportunistic country, and second is our hospitality, and third is our simplicity. Thank you, sir.
Yes,
It's nice. Yes, sir.
simplicity.
It's nice. Sir, I know you read some of the books. You had been a professional so far, and tell us like three books that you found inspiring. Discuss about the three books
Okay.
that you found inspiring so far in your life.
Okay. So I think that my latest
Yes.
inspiring book
Yeah.
is the Bible. You know, I'm a
Right.
Christian.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
Exactly.
yes, the
Yeah.
Bible. Because I've read a lot of books, I've done a lot of things. But I read the Bible. The Bible is the most read book I've done
Yes. Sir.
in my
Yes. Sir.
entire life.
Yes. Sir.
Because It has everything you need to survive. If you read the Bible and go by its principle, there is nothing on earth that you cannot achieve. Because everything you need to achieve has been written in the Bible. All you need to do is you read it, follow the principle, and you are going to succeed. Apart from the Bible, I have also read a book by a man called Westren. The name of the book, the title is A Purpose-Driven Life. I believe that everybody on earth has a purpose to achieve. I have a purpose to achieve. Any other person has a purpose to achieve. Because I am not an accident. Science has told us that whenever a man ejaculates over 40 million to 1.2 billion sperms at a go, one ejaculation. And imagine just one of these sperms, that's a 40 million to 1.4 billion. Only one of them could fertilize an egg, and that is me. So the fact that I have been able to come out of the 40 million sperm to come on this earth, I have a purpose. So that book really gives me a sense of purpose, a purpose-driven life. It tells you how to live your life, how not to live your life by the precepts of others or by what others think about you, but you live your life according to the purpose of which you are made. Everybody on earth here is for a purpose. So until you try to identify that purpose, forget it. You are going to be confused forever because people will now be telling you what to do. But if you know your purpose, you follow through your purpose, and then you achieve that purpose. And then my other book that I like so much is a book written by a man called, I think, John Hughes or so. It's Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. So it tries to talk about the difference between a man and a woman. It inspires me so much because on this earth, there are only two people, there are only two species, there are only two people that we communicate with. It's either you are communicating with a man or you are communicating with a woman. So when I read that book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, it taught me how women are made, how women think, and how to relate with women. The same thing, it taught me how men think, how men behave, and how to relate with them. So these three books, I must say, are the books that have really inspired me going forward in life. I have a lot of them, but I think these three of them are very, very much inspiring.
Yes, sir.
I understand them.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, what's your opinion on like to prevent people like youth to prevent youth from addiction to alcohol? What measures we can proceed on to youth, on the god of youth, to prevent them from the addiction of alcohol and cigarettes?
Okay, I think that one of the best things we can do is to educate.
Educate. Yeah, sir,
Because
exactly.
if people don't know, because they say that if a purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. If you don't know the purpose of something, you abuse it. So if we are able to educate the youth that no, at this stage of your life, you don't need to go in for alcohol. At this stage of your life, you don't need to go in for cigarettes or tobacco or whatever it is. Your job is to live your life and focus on the good things and the things that will help you. Again, we should also, our parents should be friends with the children. Because you see, most of the youth don't know where to go to when they are in trouble. Because they are afraid that if I go and speak to my dad, he's not going to be happy. If I speak to my mom, another trouble. So then let me keep it to myself. So in keeping it to themselves, they try to take solace in drinking alcohol or taking or smoking cigarettes. And that is one of the greatest problems that we have. So the best we could do is that the parents should draw closer to their children. So that anytime the children have issues, they can definitely come to them. And the other thing that we should understand is that all of us as individuals should understand that before us we are human. We are going to make mistakes. So if we make mistakes, we shouldn't beat ourselves over the mistake. We should dust ourselves up and move on in life. Mistakes are inevitable. We are bound to make mistakes. But one of the things that we should do is that when you fall down, you are not a failure. But failing to rise from falling down is when you become a failure. So when you fall down, you have to give it a point to rise. Rise above the troubles, rise above the problems, and move on in life. Every problems happen to people. Nothing on this earth has happened to people that cannot be solved before. It's just a matter of time. Everything will be fine. So if you get into a trouble, don't think that, hey, what have I got to do? I want to die. I want to do this. I want to do that. No. So far as there is life, there is always hope. There is a saying that no matter how long and dark the tunnel is, at the end of the tunnel, there is light. So no matter the darkness you find yourself in, just keep walking.
Okay.
By the time you get to the tunnel, at the end of it, you will see light. And you know that all those dark processes were to refine you, give you an experience, and make you a better individual. So parents should get closer to their children. We should be able to understand and educate people on the use of alcohol. And then again, we should understand that we are human. And for us, we are human. We make mistakes. And if you do this, we'll always be fine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, you must having any future goal, like in your academics or research, you must be having any future goal. So, what's your
Oh,
future
sure.
goal in order to
Sure.
achieve
So
in your?
yeah.
Yes, sir.
So for this phase of our life, I just want to do my research to get a PhD. But when I finish, I just want to go back to my country
Yes, sir.
and set up a lab
Yes, sir.
and start to do research in
Yes, sir.
neurodegenerative disorders,
Yes, sir.
neuropharmacology, try and work. You know, in my country, we have a lot of plants. You know, we deal with a lot of plant medicines.
Yes, sir.
So there are so many of these plant medicines that are used in neurodegenerative disorders, that are used in neurological disorders. But as to how they are working, nobody knows. So if I get this knowledge, my main aim is to go back, set up
Yes, sir.
a lab, and
Yes, sir.
start to investigate all these plant medicines. And again, one of the things I want to is to inspire the next generation. Like what I'm doing this week. I want to do more and more. I get to schools, I get to people, I get to churches, speak to them, tell them about how they can go about their life and be better.
Yes, sir.
And
Exactly.
then again, I want to also talk about the word of God. You know, I'm a Christian, so I want to also preach, tell people about the love of God, tell people about how Jesus came to die for our sins. So there's no point living in sin, to live our life in the righteous and the holy. Those are the things I want to do after my set up a lab, inspire the next generation, and tell people about the kingdom of God.
Yes, sir.
So that's my purpose.
Hope you will achieve it, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. And
Sure.
yes, sir. Sir,
Go do
tell us some guidance, like how can we improve our channel in the future? What's your opinion? How can we improve our channel, like I says, podcast and YouTube?
Okay, so I think that the best way of improvement is assessment.
Yes, sir.
So probably going forward, each and every moment after every podcast, you tell people to
Yes, sir.
try, then give you their feedback. What went wrong? What was
Yes.
right?
Yes, sir.
So the feedback of the people, some may criticize overly. You know, there are people who just come and say, oh, what are you doing? All these things you are doing is useless. All the talking, what can we?
Yes,
Those things, don't worry. They are part of the trouble.
yes,
But just look at the fine details of what others are saying. And then keep them in and try to make it better. So those are the best way to try and make the podcast work. Get the feedback from your
yes, sir.
viewers
Exactly.
because you are serving the viewers. You get their feedback, you input their feedback into your work, and then you are going forward. So every moment, and don't be complacent. I know you have started. There are
Yes,
times
sir.
you get to people will be liking your pitch 40K, 100K, 1 million likes, and all this kind of stuff. When it gets there, a lot of people get swollen headed and they think that they have arrived. So you put anything there because they want to feed the public. So we have not put anything on the page today. Let's be fast. Then you put something together and put it there. But you should understand that the quality of your work will
Yes,
keep
sir.
your viewers. So
Yes.
don't compromise on the quality. Always make sure that your quality is intact
Yes,
and the
sir.
message you are giving people are relevant. And that is all you are going to do.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. That's a very nice piece of advice, sir. Thank you. It will really help us a lot, sir.
Yeah.
So what's your message for youth, for the younger generations? Like, see us as your brothers, younger brothers. What you say, a piece of advice for younger brothers of the youth today?
That's my first advice I'll give to the youth is that no pain, no gain.
Yeah, sir.
If you are not going to be hardworking,
Yeah, sir.
forget it. You are not going to succeed
Yes, sir.
because hardworking is the tool through which you can get success.
Yes, sir.
And one of the things that we should understand is that we should understand what we call processes. So when you start life, you start from the lower basic school, then you are coming, you get to the university, you do PhD, you do MPhil, whatever it is. Even when you want to go, if you are using a staircase, you start from the number one stair, you go to two, you go to three. If you try to jump from 1 to 5, the worst case scenario, you fall down and you break a tooth or you break your leg. So one of the things that we should understand as you is that life is all about processes. So until you go through the process, don't expect to achieve anything. And don't try to go around the process. Because if you go around the process, you come back and start again.
Yes,
So
sir.
just go through the process.
Process.
Again, one of the things that we should understand is that we should always pray to whoever we pray to, that he should put money in our pocket and not in our heart. There's a difference between getting money in your heart and getting money in your pocket. When money is in your pocket, money is your servant. It serves you. But when you put money in your heart, you worship it.
Yes, sir.
So don't put money in your heart, but put it in your pocket.
Yes,
By
sir.
so doing,
Exactly.
you are going to take right decisions. Because if you put money in your heart, then you want to get rich quick. And when you want to get rich quick, then you want to jump the process. So you
Yes.
are supposed to, you are in school, you are supposed to go and do attachment. You go for internship, and because they are not paying you for the internship, you don't want to go again.
Yes.
You want to just do it anyhow because what are they giving us? They let us do all this in the industry, they don't pay us. No, I won't go again. No, understand that there are phases in life. There are seasons of life.
Yes, sir.
Even in the world, we have winter, there's summer, there's fall, there's autumn.
Yes, sir.
So until your season of harvest comes, just be planting, be planting, be planting, be planting. When the harvest season comes, you are going to harvest the seeds that you planted years ago. So
Yes.
if you have not planted any seed years ago, and the harvest season comes, what are you going to have? Empty harvest. So let's trust the process. Let's apply ourselves to diligence, and let's be doing what is right. And I believe that we should be fine.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It's really nice, sir. Sir, where does our viewers can connect with you? Like in social media, where can we follow you?
Okay, so for me, I'm on Facebook. If you just type my name, Richmond Arthur, definitely find me. And
Yes,
if you
sir.
get to Instagram,
Yes, sir.
Arthur Richmond, and then you
Yes.
can follow me on Instagram.
Yes,
If
sir.
you want my number after the
Yes. Yes, sir.
podcast, you just meet my friend here. He'll give you my number, and then you
Yes.
can have a tete-a-tete talk and see how this thing goes. So I'm not a fan of this whole social media. I just I'm just on Instagram. I'm not on Twitter. Yeah, I'm on Twitter too, but I'm just on. I'm very active on Instagram. Yeah, Instagram, I'm not just active.
Yes.
Maybe Facebook a little bit because I go there too. But
Yes.
that's all. I'm not on TikTok, all those Snapchat. I'm a traditional man.
Sir.
So I'm
Yes, sir.
still trying to.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. We'll end the session right here, sir. It has been a really nice session and interview with you, sir. It has been a pleasure, honor to meet with you and talk with you. Thank you, sir. Namaste.
I'm so much honored to hear. Thank you
Yes.
very much for the opportunity that you have granted.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you.
Okay, so
Yes.
yeah.